Okay, I was over here. I brought over some of the right spark plugs. These are a B7ES, but with that stock number 1111, that's the original, or what it's called for these, and that is an obsolete spark plug that they discontinued, but I was able to find 4 of them. And I brought over a plug wrench for them because it's got a lot of tools, but the one thing missing is a spark plug wrench. And by God, with the two-stroke, you need a spark plug wrench. And speaking two-stroke, this one, you have to run a premix in it. It doesn't have the automatic oiling. But a lot of these old bikes, they had a cap for measuring oil built into the gas cap. And this one, it says right on it, for every quart of gas, you use one of these full of 30 weight oil. So it's like a 20-to-1 ratio. But that's not uncommon on these old bikes to use that kind of a measurement. You'll see that on gas caps. But, like I say, with 21 ratio, running 30 weight oil, you do have to have spare spark plugs along, because you can pull the plug up. But I was going to talk about it because we got it running, and I took it out for a spin the other day. I just didn't happen to have my phone along. But the darn thing is snappy and runs really well. The only thing it's hard to get used to, well, I could adjust, but my brother was having trouble with this, having a right-hand shift. First time he took it out, he damn near plowed into the shed when he came back, because instead of hitting the brake, which is on the left side, he actually kicked it up a gear, because it is, it's a heel-toe shifter. Well, I was going to say the wrong side, but it isn't the wrong side. A lot of bikes used to run it on the right-hand side. But if you're used to a regular shift, it screws you up. And then being heel-toe, and then the pattern is reversed. It's one down or one up to get low gear. So you hit on that back part of the pedal. That'll get you in low gear. Well, he was trying to take off the other day, and by God, he had in third before he could figure it out. So he kept going down. That don't do it. But it is a really nice running bike and riding, nice handling bike. But I think they used to race this sort of thing, that, it's a nice bike. Well worth the price. But Benelli, they were into racing them lightweights. And I see he did get the scat out that was in a storage bin, one of those shipping containers, with a bunch of other motorcycles, and he dug that out, because that baby's ready to go, and got the seat recovered for it. And that really runs nice. Those are fun bikes. So one day we'll take a cruise. And he also got the Twingle out of the shed. There again, seat has been recovered. It had that weird carpet thing on there. But that's a nice running bike. So, someday, we'll have to take a little journey. But that's going to be an interesting journey. Yeah, the odds of one breaking down are fairly good. But I'm curious. I haven't ridden that Twingle. That Pook. That's quite a machine, too. But that is Austrian. So we have American, Italian, and Austrian. It'll be a journey. Of course, then there's a few Japanese kicking around in here. A 250 CL Scrambler Honda. And that one, we actually put a big bore kit in it. Okay, in another video, people asked about this. It is a 64 Chevy. And that is a 283. And though it has, like aluminum valve comes up, it's a stock 283. I think it's a Rochester 4-valve. But, this is a kind of a weird project because this is one where somebody had started it and then gave up partway through. And they were kind of going that Mexican lowrider way with it. So although the paint is in nice shape, it's a god-awful paint. If it had been either this color or this color, but you don't break colors in the middle like that. That's just weird. But the interior had been all shag carpeting and shag on the dashboard, and the interior has been completely redone. I see he's working on the steering wheel because that wasn't the right steering wheel. He's got the right steering wheel. Things are hard to bring back to original. If somebody's been monkeying with them. There's a point in there where a car gets monkeyed with so much that you really can't bring them back, that you have to just, say, and make a hot rod out of it. And see, here's a weird thing. The guy who was working on this, he was trying to convert it to an SS. It's not an SS, it's an Impala. But there's a lot of fake super sports out there. So he had put, he's got all the chrome trim and stuff for the super sport. Came with the car in the unfinished project. Well, no, my brother's going back to the original, what it's supposed to be. But there's a point in there where you really can't do that anymore. But say, if you're going to make a two-tone, okay, yeah, see, here you got a break in the line. You could go with a different color top. But breaking like that, that's just weird. It'll be a nice car, but like I say, it's stock 283, 2-speed power glide. I think it had the aluminum radiator, ready. But, there's a lot of weird stuff when you have a project that somebody starts and then gives up on because they can have done a lot of things kind of half-assed, and then you got to find them things out or find them out the bad way. But there's enough there that was worth bringing back. And I don't know what color he plans on repainting it. But 64s are a little different from other ones. He's got a 64 Chevy Super Sport that's in a shed out here someplace. But I think he's got all the appropriate trim for this one. But somebody put these wheels that are actually off, I think they're a Rally, off a Nova or something. No, not the right wheel at all. So he's got to try to find the right wheels, and I think he's got all the right hubcaps for it. That's the right steering wheel there. Yeah, because these, say disc brake on them. Well, it certainly isn't disc brake. But I'm sure the guy thought that they look right, but they don't look right if you know what you're looking at. But you should have seen when he first got this car, that interior really was a turnoff. That was with that odd, awful shag all over the place in there. Door panels and everything. But somebody was kind of making a lowrider out of it. It's just that when people do that, it is hard to bring them back. So I see he did put an electronic ignition in there. I'm not fond of them myself, but he's fixing it as an everyday driver, not as a show kind of thing. It's a car you can take out and not worry about. because they're a nice sized car. They're just a good car. They ride nice, comfortable to ride inside, easy to work on. Makes a lot more sense than the newer stuff. But there's still a lot of, little trim pieces and stuff that he has to hunt up. Like there is a trim that goes around here. You might have them too, but like I say, he's going to be repainting it. Though it's a shame, like the paint that's on there is not bad. It's just that two-tone is weird. It's very possible he would drive it for a while and get all the other bugs out of it before he actually paints it. But he does all his own paint anyway. So that's what that 64 Chevy is. He's got a 65. I'll have to show someday that is, it's quite a hot rod. It's got a 454 in it and stuff. But cars like that, you don't want to drive every day. This, you could drive every day. And if something happens to it, it's not a big traumatic experience, though you hate to do it, but it's a good solid body on it. Yeah, that's a Fleet. And the seats were recovered. Some old lady down in Valley City that did them. But that looks good. And they got rid of that ugly carpet that had, and that's this, it's like a guitar-shaped seat. But see, this one has got the oil injection, because you put oil in this tank, gas in this tank. Still don't know how it works, but, those pooks are weird. But I think that'll be a fun one to run. This is fun. This is snappy. I was actually surprised. Light and handles well. But someday we'll take a journey. But I'm going to have a pocket full of tools, because there is so much that can go wrong with these old bikes. When you haven't put enough miles on them to really test them out. But I like that. That Benelli's a nice bike. But of the three of them, that Scat is the coolest. They are a nice bike. And it's got kind of a dirt bike, so it's got kind of knobby tires on it. And they're a low, lightweight bike. That's a hog of the Italian variety. Now, you're going to have to get them out and get them washed. And I think that's what he plans on painting the tank on yet, but there's no big hurry on that. Get the bugs out of them before you start doing body work. And put a clutch cable and I think the brake cable, odds and ends he put into it, but basically on these old ones, it's a matter, especially on a two-stroke, they're so damn simple. If you can get the carburetor cleaned out, then the fuel tank cleaned out, odds are they're going to run. There ain't much to go wrong. But spark plugs. So I had to hunt up them damn spark plugs. Very fun bike to run, though.